let's see. We've talked about audio with Adobe Audition. We've talked about repairing audio with Isotope. We've talked about storing your audio and just about everything else with Promise Technologies. Now we get to the fun stuff, which is images that look incredible, and that's where Shutterstock comes in. Derick Rhodes is the footage content producer for Shutterstock. Derick, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Great to be here.
Give us a paragraph on what Shutterstock is.
Shutterstock is a global marketplace for royalty-free images and video. So we have about 35 million images online, about 1.6 million videos at this point.
What got Shutterstock started?
Shutterstock was started by John Oringer in New York City. John, in the early days of microstock, he recognized that the bigger companies in the industry weren't really providing a service that people needed, which was a low-price, easy-to-use subscription service. So he actually started with, I think, about 25,000 of his own images.
25,000 of his own images.
That
he's been busy.
Well, that was in the early days. So he took his camera and went out and started producing. Started licensing those images to clients and customers, and then over time, obviously, added a lot of other photographers and folks to the pool.
Well, I can think, without even hesitating, of about 500 million other stock footage houses, everything from Creatas and Getty Images and Artbeats and Pond 5 and who all knows who all. Mm-hmm. Why should somebody even think about Shutterstock?
Yeah, the great thing about Shutterstock is that our pricing is extremely transparent. So on the footage side, for example, all the clips on the site are the same price. It's really, really straightforward. It's royalty-free. So for HD clips, it's $79 per clip if you're buying a single clip. And then you can save money if you buy packs of 5, 10, or 25 clips. So our 4K collection we just launched. Those clips are priced at $299 per clip.
$299 for a 4K clip.
That's correct.
Well, it's wonderful to have 4K on your site. I can't tell you how thrilled I am, but I can't find it. How do I find a 4K image? The search. When you've got 2 million images, the search is, how do you make my life easier?
Actually, it's pretty easy. What you have to do is just go to the search field, and if you just do a blank search, pull up everything on the site. On the left side of our site, you'll see the total number of 4K clips, and you'll see the other categories and the other formats. Just click on that 4K, you can search right within that collection.
So I could say search just for 4K images for shots of bridges, or my personal favorite, 4K images of shots of trains.
Absolutely,
okay,
yeah.
Well, good. Well, if we got train shots on there, then we'll continue talking.
Okay, great.
So what have you got that's new?
So, we're really all about the quality of that collection, the 4K, the 20,000 that we just launched. As a tech company, we really want to show how our contributors, are early adopters of high-end technology in the video space. So, we have folks that are shooting on, Red Epics and Phantom cameras. Sometimes people have the idea that, stock video can have a sort of a lower production quality to it, which we think is totally a misconception. And we're trying to show that by really featuring, top contributors shooting really hard to capture content, whether it's, aerials or, beautiful time lapses, hard to produce, model released content. Obviously, we do have contributors that are just getting started with DSLRs and trying to figure out, how to make things. But we have lots of folks that are really shooting at the very highest end, and that's where we want to focus.
Well, that's all well and good, but if the contributors, the people creating the footage, can't make money, they're not going to care. So how do you make money if you're a producer that wants to sell footage into stock?
Yeah, the good news is that it's actually really easy to make money with Shutterstock. So we've paid out over $200 million to our contributors since the company was founded. Very easy to sign up. You just go to submit.shutterstock.com. Contributors receive 30% of every single footage clip that we license. The reporting is very transparent on the back end. You see it in real time, when you sell a clip. We want to make it easy for people. And so what we do is just review quickly, get content to the site as quickly as possible. And we want people to generate income, obviously, because we want them to keep coming back and providing us with their content.
Now, what kind of curation is involved? How do you make sure that the models are released, and how do you make sure the legal dots are dotted so that if I use something, I'm not going to get sued?
Right. So every single clip on our site is reviewed by a human being in our office in New York City. I think that's important to keep in mind. A lot of companies in the space, find ways to sort of farm out different parts of their process. We really want to focus on quality. We want to make sure that when content gets onto our site, it's content that is totally legally cleared, where the end user, the customer, is not going to have issues once they integrate footage into their project. So obviously everything is model released and property released when those things are required. As the reviewers are looking at each clip, they're making sure that there's not noise going on, that there aren't artifacts left in the images, and we're obsessive, I would say, about really trying to provide something that's, number one, really easy for people to use, and number two, of a very high quality. That's one of our big selling points is giving people peace of mind when they're licensing content.
And for people that want to learn more or submit images, where can they go on the web?
Yeah, so for submitting, it's submit.shutterstock.com.
And for downloading?
And for downloading, obviously just shutterstock.com. You can download 35 million images, huge pool, 1.6 million videos, and over 20,000 4K videos for the first time.
That's all one word, Shutter, S-H-U-T-T-E-R, stock, shutterstock.com. And Derick Rhodes is the footage content producer for Shutterstock. Derick, thanks for joining us
Thanks
today.
so much for having me.
Take care.
Thanks.